Hello again. I'm back. I had to go outside to, we had a lot of snow last night and then it started to rain. So I have about that much slush out there that I had to push off the walkway because it's going to get very, very, very cold tonight. And we will have an ice skating rink out there. It's going to be nasty. So now I am all flushed and winded from shoveling all that slush, but I did not want to have, I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. I'm planning on staying home, but I did not want to have to deal with a sheet of ice. So I have my laptop, not my laptop, my iPad right down here because I am still exporting and the first part of my WIP parade. And I just wanted to make sure that the iPad doesn't go to sleep while it's exporting. So I watched because I had to preview my first part of this video and how obnoxious it was to listen to all of that shuffling around of zippers and papers and all that. So I am in a better place right now. Everything's out of the bag. Everything is, I won't have all of that rustling sound, so that'll be good. It's just, I did not want to go back and refilm another hour or one. So here we go. First thing I want to do is, I don't think I ever showed this. This is By the Sea with Jane Austen. And I finished this last summer. And I don't think I ever showed it. It says, a little sea bathing would set me up forever. It's a Jane Austen quote. That right there is an A. Very stylized. And it's on the back of fabric that I was using for the endangered species right whale. So that's a finish. Who knows when it'll ever become a fully finish, but soon I hope. And I think I'd like to fully finish it and enter it into this year's Fiber Arts exhibition at our library because the library mascot is a mermaid. And of course, I live by the sea. So that's that. That's my finish there. Now, we're going to continue on with the WIP parade. No other talking. First up is, we're starting with the M's. And this is Magical Garden Sampler. There you go. This is by Shakespeare's Peddler. This was purchased at a shop in Walpole. I got it on a giveaway table at Walpole called Hoops and Needles, and it does not exist. It is from 2010, Shakespeare's Peddler. So, okay, the export is done, so I can put the iPad down. So, this is where I am. I'm glad that's done so that I don't have to think about it. This is where I am on Magic Garden. It's, again, because I stitch on 28 count, it's huge. I love that bird. He's so cute. And then there's the snail. I have a thing for snails. Always, even before I read that book, Wild Snail Eating, just because I was a mail carrier and I used to send lots and lots of letters and so forth. So that's on Atomic Ranch Morning Lilac, 28 count linen. So that's that one. Then next up, we have the Magical Mystery Tour. This is a series of Blackbird's designs that are loosely based on Beatles songs. And the Beatles will be always my favorite because that's my generation. I grew up with them. So the first one, there's a series of, I think there's 5. The first one is Eleanor Rigby. And what I think is so weird about this is that you can also stitch it as a birth sampler. And somehow stitching Eleanor Rigby as a sampler doesn't ring well to me. So I got to start on Eleanor Rigby, and this is on, I think this is Oyster. I'm sorry, I can't remember, but it's huge. I had started another project on it and then decided I didn't like the stitch on the other project, so I'm transferring it out. So it's a huge piece of fabric. So this is where I am on Eleanor Rigby. I really, 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 really want to get back to this. Next time I pick it up and I work on it, I'll make sure I make note of the fabric. And then the other one that I got to start on was Octopus's Garden. I'm doing it on the same fabric. It's called Oyster. I know it's called Oyster. I just can't remember the designer. And here is the start for Octopus's Garden. Again, these are big stitches. All right, and I have all the other ones in the series because I was afraid they'd go away because they're Blackbird designs. Yellow Submarine, Blackbird. I love that song so much. And Strawberry Fields Forever. And another one of my favorites, Long and Winding Road. I love the finish on this one. I'd like to copy that. And as I am showing them to you, I'm putting them back in there. Oops, I promised no zipping. I forgot. I'm putting them back in their bags. So I have so many WIPs. There's no way I could ever afford the lovely bags. So I use these. And I got these on Amazon. Of course, I'm not shopping Amazon anymore, but I know 123 Stitch has them too. The next one is called Make Waves. This was a Nashville offering in 2021, I believe. And I went hog wild in 2021 with Nashville. And I don't do that anymore. So this is by Top Knot Stitcher. I'm always a sucker for anything that's ocean related. This is Country Atlantic Lugana by Witchlet. So that's all I got is the M for Making Waves. And you can see it's very, very wavy. Oh, Make Waves. And I guess that's kind of what I'm going to try to do this year is make waves. I'm going to try to fight the injustices that I see that are happening in this country. So I hope I am. No more zippers. All right, and then the next one is another one of my mother's favorite songs that she used to sing to us all the time. This is Mares Eat Oats. Mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. A kit'll eat ivy too, wouldn't you? And again, I changed the font on the lyrics to purple because that's my favorite color. This is on Atomic Ranch Dune. I have a lot of that color. I went really hog wild with it when it came out. And we have another mermaid. I think I just started this recently. So it's the Blue Flower and it's Mermaid's Garden. I don't know if I've ever shown this one. Maybe I have. And again, because I'm stitching it on 28 count, this is 28 count Affogato by Fiber on a Whim. So it's huge. I like this fabric. I think this is another one of my favorite neutrals. A little bit darker than some of the other ones, but I like it. This is really pretty. I really like... Oh, I have it backwards. I have it upside down. That's the way it's supposed to go. Like that. Oh, goodness gracious, Bonnie Jeanne. I have threads everywhere. So there's the pattern. I think I started on the, I don't usually start on this on this side, but I think I started there because I wanted to get to the mermaid because I love her hat. Okay, this one for some reason got zipped up, so another zip. I'm trying, people, I'm trying not to zip. But I don't want things to get mixed up. This is my traditional fancy lady, Nora Corbett. This is Miss Spider. She's very heavily beaded. I've never beaded in my life, so this will be an experiment. There's an awful lot of black on this, so I'm stitching the black not in 310. I'm stitching it in mascara, Weeks Dye Works mascara, and I like it. So I got her skirt, her dress is getting there. I started adding some of the purple over here. And this is Water Lily. It is by Witchlet. Am I pronouncing that right? Witchlet? Witchelt? I don't know. All right, and the next one was an impulse purchase last year. This is by an online designer, Visitors. This is Moroccan Lanterns. And I am stitching it on this. It's a very stiff, crunchy material, so it's Witchlet or Zweigart. I don't know which one. I will say I started it and I didn't like. I got lost. This I did a center start. That's all I have gotten done. Do you see? Right there in the center. Do you see that little bit of green? That's all I've gotten done. And I think there's a mistake in there. This one will probably go away till next year. I do want to finish it, but probably won't touch it this year. My next one is My ABCs. This is by Silver Creek Samplers. I'm a sucker for anything that's about the ocean, especially if it has an alphabet. I had a scrap of fabric. I have no idea what this is, but I know it's big enough because I measured. So that's where I am on that one. I really need to prioritize this one and get it done. I should be making notes about what I want to prioritize. The next one is another one that's I really want to get done. This is an older chart. It is from 2011. I got it on a discount table. This is called Nantucket. Nantucket Beach. Old-timey bathhouses. Reminds me of my favorite movie, Ghost to Mrs. Muir. And I am stitching this on, whoa, I just dropped it. I am stitching this on Fiber on a Whim Celestine 28 count linen. And I've only got a very little start on it, just one of the beach houses. There's a lot of sand. I should just get myself together, pull myself together and get the sand done. Then I'll feel like I've made an accomplishment. Maybe that should just be my goal for this year, is to get the sand stitched in place. And my next one is the Needlework, Little House Needleworks, Needlework ABCs. These pictures on this series were particularly nasty. This is on Eucalyptus, 28 count Atomic Ranch. This is all I've gotten done on this one. So I'm doing their seasonal ABCs, which are coming up shortly, and I'm doing it on 20 count, and the difference in the size of the alphabet is dramatic. It really brings it home how much smaller 20 count is. And next up is ink circles. This is New Doors, which I really should finish. It says old keys won't open new doors. So I really should finish this since I've had so much trouble with housing and old keys. This is on Picture This Plus Mirage, 28 count linen, which is I think the perfect size for this. This is all I've gotten done. I'm looking forward to the day this year when I can hold up a big piece of fabric with a lot of progress. So that's where I am on this one. I mean, I think it's this way. Yeah, that is the way. It's that way. That'd be so nice. I do mostly, for anybody who's new, I do mostly smalls and mediums. It's very rare that you'll find me doing a large. All right, I have to flip over my next grouping. Let's hope I don't tip them upside down and lose them. Oh, I almost did. All right, so I have, next up I have the Prairie Schooler ABCs. So I did look up the name and now I can't remember where I wrote it down. One of my viewers last year sent me this whole series. I had found one in a discount table and then she sent me the entire series. This is my favorite kind of stitch. It's detailed, but it's small. I really love these. So I started obviously with A is for Anchor. Which is coming along nicely. And then I got to start on E is for Embroidery because I was doing a book club. So this is E is for Embroidery right here. I was doing a book club and we were reading a book about embroidery, and we were to pick one of our charts that is related to, oh, I found another needle, people. I did remember to take the one that I found before off the table there and put it away, so now I have to remember to do that one. So anyway, we were supposed to pick a chart that kind of matched the book. So I decided to do E is for Embroidery, but that's all I got done. I didn't enjoy the book, so I didn't continue on with it, sadly. But I really want to get back to these because, like I said, this is one of my favorite kind of stitches. Intricate but small. All right, the next one is called Promise of Spring. I started this so long ago. This is Silver Creek Samplers. Again, I love their typography. And this is on Picture This Plus Tarnish, 28 count, which was used to be my favorite count, but now I really love 20. Except I won't do black work on 20 anymore. I'm going to do black work always on linen. The current black work that I showed you earlier that I'm doing on the stitch along, it has fractionals, and everybody says black works don't have fractionals. Well, they do, because this one has a lot, and it's really hard to do on Ada. This is called Perfect. Another black cat. Very rarely do I see a gray and white fluffy cat, which is what the color my other cat is. So this is where I am on this. I added that little patch of white on his chest because my black cat has a little patch of white on his chest. The cat is not blind. I keep meaning that I need to go in and get that back stitch in. He does have little closed eyes, so he's giving you kitty kisses. So I need to go back and get those eyes in there so he doesn't look blind. And then the next one is a, so this is what I'm trying not to do anymore. Quote the stitcher, I need more. I do not need more. I am good. I have plenty. I want to enjoy what I have, but I'm still going to finish this because I'm almost finished with it. This is where I am on this. This is Fabric Flare Pecan. Pretty color. Here, maybe back it because the light is going through it. It is a very pretty color. Yeah, see? Showing up very nicely. So it's just pretty much the borders that I have to finish. And then this will be done. And then I'm going to hang it somewhere where I can see it all the time and say, no, you don't. You do not need more. You have plenty. And then we have another series. When we were growing up, my sisters and I were growing up, every first of the month, my mother would say, rabbit, rabbit. And that was a good luck thing. You're supposed to say rabbit, rabbit, because it brought you good luck for the month. Now, I thought that was just my mother. I thought it was just something my mother did. And then come to find out later that a lot of people do it. And then come to find out that Ink Circles has a whole series of rabbit, rabbit. How cute are these charts? I mean, seriously, they are the cutest. So I thought, oh, these are easy stitches. I will buy a big chunk of material. Oops, I missed one. Love that one. Rabbits are white, it's hard to see. I'll buy a big chunk of material and I will stitch all these rabbits. How pretty is that? I will stitch all the rabbits. And then I will have, oops, that's only, I didn't get through them all. September, October, November, and then December. So I bought a big chunk of material. It is Grace Notes. I can't remember the name of it. It's a purpley material. And it is a giant wreath. It's called wreath. And it's a giant, giant, giant piece of fabric because there are 12 months. Look at that. Look at that baby. That's the biggest piece of fabric I ever bought. So I started, I think it was March that I bought this 2 years ago. And I started March and I made a mistake somewhere and said, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to leave it alone. I measured out, went to the next one, started the next month. Made a mistake. And decided, okay, take a break. You do not need to finish this. I am going to finish it because it's a mom thing. You know, I have to do, it's because my mom used to always say rabbit, rabbit. But my stepdad is a master carpenter and I want him to build me a little tiny, I have to figure out how big these will be when I flat finish them into the little tiny pillows, a little tiny rabbit hutch. And I'll put that on the wall and each month I'll change out the rabbit in the hutch to the rabbit of the month. I think he'd enjoy doing that. We had to sell our family home last year because it was just too big for him and me and my sister. So, not last year, 2 years ago. So, he got it. He has a new home, much smaller, and he's a master carpenter, as I said, and he sold all of his woodworking tools. I mean, decades, many decades worth of beautiful tools. He kept them in immaculate condition. He sold it all, and now he's kind of getting more because he's kind of getting back into the woodworking. So I thought, maybe we could do a collaboration. I can do the stitching and he can do the woodworking and make me a little rabbit hutch. And again, I'm bending over, I know, but I really don't want to have things get mixed up. This is a small apartment and I have 2 cats and I don't want cat hair when I can avoid it. The next one is the Scattered series by Shepherd's Bush. I have done all of these except for this one. I am still working on Scatter Sunshine. I need to get back to this one. I think I might just put this one. No, I'm going to leave it for March. So this is on Atomic Ranch Weathered Stone 28 count linen. And that's all I've gotten done. None of the cute stuff. So this is the Scattered Sunshine. I'll put this back in rotation in March. I think that's what I'm decided I'm going to do is I'm just going to every month switch out what I'm working on. And next up I have, this was an impulse buy and I kind of regret it because I'm not really one for this tiny towns. It's Seaside. So this is Seaside Tiny Town. I want to finish it as a drum. I've never done that before. And I got a massive start on this. Look at that. Look at that massive start. This is on Atomic Ranch Prairie Land 28 count. I'm going to try just to pile these over here now rather than go in there. Next up, I have one of my favorite stitches from 2023. I have nothing favorite from 2024 because 2024 was a miserable, miserable year. I did very little stitching. All right. So, I started a what do you call it? Stitch along with 2 other women on Instagram. And we were stitching the Little House Needleworks ABCs. So we started with winter, which I'm going to get to in a minute. And then we started winter in October so that the object was we were going to finish it. We did, every 3 months we change out. We were going to finish it before the month so we could have it up on the wall. Well, I finished winter and spring, and I was so proud of myself. I was so excited that I finished them. And then I got to summer. So this is summer. All right, do you see those apples at the top? So when I think of summer, I do not think of apples. And it threw me for a ridiculous loop and just took me, I really could not get into it. So I did get, this is beautiful. I don't remember the fabric, but when I go back to work on this later, I will list the fabric. It's a beautiful pink fabric. I did put the apples in, but I changed the colors up a little bit. I did change the colors up a little bit because of the pink fabric. Otherwise, it wouldn't have worked. But obviously, I still need to finish summer with the silly apples. And I will. And then I did get a brief start on autumn. So there's autumn. Autumn is normal. It's all the things that I think of when I think of autumn. And again, more gorgeous fabric. This is all I've gotten done on autumn, though. But how pretty is that fabric? I will look it up, and if you're curious about the color, it's really beautiful, though. Really beautiful. So then I discovered, so I'm going to show you winter. So this is the, I don't have the winter chart here because I have it because it's finished. So this is winter, all finished. And I love this blue so much. Oh my God, the white pops so beautiful on it. The winter, it was a neutral that the model was stitched on, but I love it, love it, love it on the blue. And then I noticed, wow, I have a lot. It's a small, it's 20 count. It's a small, I have a lot of fabric. So I decided I would create a triptych. So I found the Seasonal Couriers. So this is winter by Robin Pickens. And Jan Hicks has these little birdhouse cottages. This is the winter cottages. And I thought I'll have my ABCs, and then I'll have my courier. So there's my start on my winter courier. Look at that pine cone, it's gorgeous. And I'm going to frame them separately, but they'll hang together as a triptych. There's my birdhouses. So I figured, you know, doing the courier and then the little birdhouses hanging, the little cottage birdhouses hanging from the tree. I thought that was cute. Now, all three of them will go together. So that's winter. And then spring, I did finish spring ABCs. There it is. Of course, and it looks like spring. It's like a purpley material. There's spring. And I am, for the courier for spring, we have a robin, and that will look really pretty. All those colors will look really pretty on that purple. And again, with pink, this is the cottages. How cute is that? And then when I do get to the summer, there's the summer courier and the summer cottage. And here's the autumn courier. That'll look really pretty on that cart material that I have. And the autumn cottages. So I'm really pleased with this one. This will definitely come out in March. I definitely want this one out in March, so I can work on that in March. I want to finish the winter one and get started on the spring. All right, my next order of business. Whoa, everything is tipping. Let me just get things put away over here so that they don't tip. And let's move my coffee and flip over the last pile. Whoa, don't tip. Oi! So I think many of you know about Brooke of Brooke's Books. She passed away last winter, or this winter. I have a lot of her free patterns. I regret that I didn't buy. I had many of her patterns in my wish list and I never bought them, and I regret that. And they won't become available. But I can't show you these charts because they are they're charts. They're not they're not pictures. But she had a pantry series. So this is the winter pantry that I'm working on. I love this. And then this is the spring pantry that I'm working on. And I want to finish these. I have all 4 seasons. I want to finish them. And I have an old cutting board that I found in a thrift shop. It's all beat up, and I want to flat finish them. Well, not flat finish them. I want to have them finished, but where you take the edge of the fabric and fray it a little bit, and then put them on the cutting board and hang them in my kitchen. Sadly, she's not going to be here to create anymore, and I really regret that I didn't buy more. And my next one is a series from Bent Creek. This is called Snapperland. This is an old series. This goes back to 2005. So this is, you know, I was living in Pennsylvania at the time. And so this is the winter series, and you stitch these all together, and you have a border that goes around them. So this is the first, and it's a series of 4. There's the ice skater, the little chalet, and the horse-drawn carriage. And then I'm showing this. This is just a chart. I'm showing it very quickly because every one of them has one of these borders that has a message on the bottom. They are free. The charts are free for the border. And so I got a good start on the winter one. I really thought I'd get this finished, but I haven't. So this is where I am on the winter one. I like the sentiment, one kind word can warm 3 winter months. So that's where I am on the winter one. And then I'll show you the pictures for the autumn, summer. I don't have fabric or anything picked out for them. So here's the spring. They're very cute. All right, so here's spring. How cute. Look at that little girl. And they're chickens. Oh my God. A bunny. Bees. And on the back of one of them, so you can see that's how it'll look. Oh, there you go, how it looked together. They put a frame between each vignette, but I'm not going to. I'm just doing it as one long thing. And the sentiment on this one is, I can't read that. It's too tiny. These things are so old. I should probably make copies of them. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. That's sweet. And so that's spring. And then summer. This was like one of my first, it was probably my first chart. I noticed that I keep doing that. I touch that ear all the time. I'm going to put a little Post-it note in front of my camera. I noticed that, so this was this was the first series that I ever bought where you had to buy fancy floss. And I remember thinking, oh, this is so cool. And I bought the fancy floss, and then I didn't touch fancy floss again because I got the price tag. And I didn't touch it again until I did that project in 2020. So this was 2005. So it took me another 15 years before I touched it again, because I was like, man, that's expensive. So this is summer. This is Whale House. This is something we are familiar with here on the Cape because we have a big bike trail out here. And of course, lighthouse. And a sailboat. And the sentiment for summer is crinkly paper, I know. Turn your face to the sun and the shadows fall behind you. Aww. I love these sentiments. And then our last one is autumn. I bet it'll have something to do with being thankful, don't you? I don't remember. It's been 20 years. All right, so here is autumn. This is called Turkey Farm. Love those turkeys. Autumn Walk. Pumpkin Hunt. You're not hunting too hard. Those are pretty much out in the open. And Harvest Time with the Scarecrow. And the sentiment on this one. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm wrong. This is one of these sayings that I love. Autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. I don't know who that's attributed to, but Yeah, I like that. I know it's attributed to someone because I've seen it many times. All right, so the next one in my list, we're up to the S's, at the end of the S's. This is Stitcher by Luminous Fiber Arts. I had some dark material and a lot of, I think it's Weeks Dye Works. It's called Cape Cod, the fabric. This is 28 count Bayou. It's dark. And I decided to do the whole thing in Cape Cod. And I like the way that like greenish color looks with the brown very much. Again, this is Stitcher. This will look really nice in my spare room because that's where I'm putting, if I ever, I don't have another bed. I just have one bed. But if I ever get a second bed, it'll go in the spare room in case I ever have company, which I doubt I'll ever have. And it'll be filled with all kinds of cross stitch that has to do with stitching. Whoever stays there will be like, this is weird. All right, my next one is one of the biggest stitches I have ever bought. This is Cooler Classics. This is the Spring Cat Sampler. I have them for every season. This is the one that I have started. So you can see, this is ambitious. This is just on white Aida. It is insanely, there's a lot of threads because I don't know how to do these big stitches. So this shows you how big it is. So that's the top. I started too far up. So I made, it's a thin margin, but it's fine. But that's all I've gotten done. The flower down there and the bunny. But that took me a month of Sundays to do. It is an ambitious stitch for me. I don't stitch these kind of changing colors constantly. I need to come up with a better system for doing that. This is what the summer one looks like. See the kitty down there? There's the kitty down there. And there's always a bird house up at the top. And winter. Where's the kitty? Find the kitty. Oh, there's the kitty right there. Cardinals up there with the wreath. And autumn. Oh, that's my favorite cat of this series. Look at him. He's just magnificent. Love him. That's Cooler. And then another series that I have is Annie B's Folk Arts. This is called Sheltering Tree. I have all 4 seasons. Again, I went through a period where I was buying every 4-season chart that there was. I will never finish it like this. That takes away from the stitching in my opinion. I mean, you can't even see what's going on up here in the corners. I put all that work in and then covered up with a big bow. So winter is just about done. There she is. I need to put the snow on the tree. Yeah, the snow needs to go on the trees and I have to do the upper border. I like those little foxes. I've been seeing a lot of fox out when I'm driving, because I'm driving a lot more now because I have to go to, well, I drove a whole lot more when I was in the mail truck, but I am, I'm driving in the morning. I'm going off to Provincetown in the morning, and I see a lot of fox. They're gorgeous. They're very fat and healthy looking. It's nice. This is Autumn for the Sheltering Tree. With squirrels. I love squirrels. And that's as far as I've gotten on Autumn. And they will all be on this sand, Picture This Plus Sand 28 count. I have not started spring yet. How cute is the bunnies? I love the bunnies. I did see a couple of rabbits recently. I'm like, whoa, do you guys know what season it is? And then some sheep for summer. And another one that I dithered on as to whether I wanted to keep it is This is called Summer Mandala. It's all flip-flops. My daughter is all into the flip-flops. And I thought I'd stitch this up for her. But she will probably be a grandmother before I ever finish it. Because that's all I've gotten done. Not much of a mandala, is it? Another series, seasonal series. This, I've seen a couple of people do this summer house stitch. See, I did it again with the ear. Autumn Provides. I loved that sentiment. So when I bought the first one, I thought, oh, that's great. I'm going to love this whole series. And I got a good start on the Autumn Provides. I have not finished it, but it is a healthy start. And I'm doing it in the call for colors. This fabric is Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. But I like that sentiment. And then I came to Winter Cometh, and I thought, oh, that sounds so... I watched like a couple of episodes of that, what was the Game of Thrones, and that was one of the things that was said a lot, Winter Cometh. But I loved the bird. I love the bird. I love the colors. I decided to, this is a scrap of material. I don't think I know what the name of this is. Oh, it's Cafe Mocha. But that's all I got done on that. Oops, it goes this way. I like the material. It's nice. It's nice to hold. This is one I decided I was going to try to stitch in hand because it's so soft. So it's a little bit slow going, but I like that. And then Spring Awakens is, I haven't started that. I haven't picked out fabric or anything for that. I like that one. I like the sentiment, Spring Awakens. That's nice. And I like Summer Refreshes also. I'm not crazy about those colors for summer. I might try to figure out a different color scheme to go. I'm not crazy about the red. But I like Summer Refreshes. This summer better be refreshing for me. I will have time off. I can take full advantage of Cape Cod. The next one is a Carolyn Manning design. This is Tree Crazy. So I got this for every season too. So this one is Spring. This is the one I got. I like it because it looks like a patchwork quilt, and my mom always did patchwork. This fabric, I think I'm going to use it for spring and summer. So kind of looks like I think it's called Dog's Day Out by Crosswing. So it kind of looks like the sky and the trees sitting there on the grass. So that's what I've gotten. Oh, for heaven's sakes. That's what I've gotten done on this. This is a good one to bring to work. If I got the trees, what's the word that I'm looking for? Completely out of my mind. This part of the tree, if I got this part of the tree all outlined, I could just bring it to work and I don't have to have a chart. I can just sit there and fill in, color in. So that's spring. And then this one is winter. I like the blues. I pulled this fabric out because I thought I would like, it's a small piece. It is tarnish. It's part of it's the same as the Promise for Spring. I thought that would be good for the winter tree. I might have to change the colors out of the blue. Give them more of a get more of a gray blue. I don't know. But I like, because this was the one that I'm using for that Promise of Spring, I thought it'd be nice to have the Tree Crazy in the same color. This is summer. This one, I'm definitely changing the color of the trunk of the tree. Not gonna have a yellow tree trunk. Yeah. I don't know. I think I might have to change all the colors on that one. But again, that's the one I might use that same fabric that I'm using in spring for that one, because that would be pretty. And then this is the autumn one. That's very nice colors for the autumn. All right, and then Autumn Lane did this Vanishing Isle a few years ago, and I had some sparkly fabric that was meant to be used for another project that I decided I wasn't going to finish. I'm sure you can't see the sparkle, but it's very sparkle. My phone is running out of battery. I gotta plug that in while I'm talking to you. So anyways, it's very, very sparkly, and I hope it works. I'm sorry, you have hands there because I'm afraid this is going to, phew. So here we go. Oh, you can see the sparkle. So there's where I am on the Vanishing Isle. So, you know, I was saying how that artist in Provincetown. So this was a series that I started. So my granddaughter is just about to turn 18. I started it when my daughter was pregnant with her. I believe that's when I started it. And it's storybook characters, or fairy tale characters. And I didn't enjoy stitching it. But I think I'm going to finish. I have the chart still. So I think I'm going to finish. Actually, this might have been when my second granddaughter was born. I'm going to finish these few. There was a whole bunch more. I'm going to finish those few and then cut that piece off and give it to that artist and see what he can make with it. You might have fun with that. There's definitely somebody who wants that. And then only a couple more. This is another alphabet series. This is by Lizzie Kate. This is the Winter Alphabet. When I did start stitching this, I loved stitching it. I loved all the different little borders. I loved all the colors. I really need to get back to this. This is on Mystic Gray Zweigart linen, 28 count. Really need to get back to this. March. In the March pile. And then this is my last one. This is called Whip It Good. There's a whole series of these with the cute little puns that are sewing related. Heartstring samplery. So I did this one in Mermaid. It's a week style work. Now, I love it, but I started thinking that the words don't stand out well enough, so I outlined the W. And I think it's okay, although it is slightly obscene looking. But once it's all done, maybe it won't be so much. But I do think the words need to be outlined, because I think they're impossible to read unless they're outlined. So I will continue to outline it. But I like it. I like that it's in Mermaid, because I live on Cape Cod and mermaids are a thing out here. There's actually a woman who teaches a mermaid class. She teaches you to swim like a mermaid, which sounds like fun, but I can't swim. So that's it. That's the final of my WIPs that I am actually keeping in rotation. As I said, I am downsizing dramatically. I do have other crafts that I want to enter into. There's some needle felting, and slow stitching, and I want to get back to sewing clothing. So there are other stitchy things that I want to get into other than cross stitch, but cross stitch will always be my first love. However, I'm going to try, unless I'm trying to complete a series, like I have that one series I need to complete, I'm trying very hard not to buy anything. I'm not even looking at the marketplace offerings. I'm just being very thrifty. So that's it for now. I will come back next week with much shorter videos, because it will just be my works in progress, the actual things that I've been working on. and maybe some life updates and maybe something about books. And I thank you very much for watching, and I'm glad to be back. Bye.